Hi and welcome to another Memories Made video. I'm designer Jen Gallacher, and today we're going to create a layout from a photo that I've had for a long time, or rather photos that I've had for a long time and have yet to scrapbook. So it's kind of a blast from the past. We're going to start with this American Crafts vellum, and we're only going to add adhesive down the center of it. Now you'll notice that it is not quite 12 by 12. I've cut about 2 inches off the bottom because I wanted to center it right in the middle of a sheet of white cardstock. And I'm going to add a little bit more. Now, if you wanted to ensure that all of it was stuck to the page, you could use machine stitching to hold it in place. You could add some staples, you could add brads, but right now it's kind of going to curve up a little bit. Once it's placed in a sheet protector, you'll never even know. Then across the center of the page, this is a quick trick that I use a lot. This is just an 8.5 by 11 sheet of craft cardstock, and this is going to form the basis of our page. And we'll center this at the top here. But it's just really easy for me to grab a sheet of 8.5 by 11 inch cardstock because it almost perfectly frames on the page. You can see that it just leaves just enough on each side. To the bottom, I'm going to add a piece of Echo Park paper, Bundle of Joy New Edition paper. And this is a baby collection, and I loved these pink hearts, so we're going to use that side on our page. And we just want to leave enough space at the bottom of the layout so some of that white cardstock still shows. And then we'll add a little bit of gold tape. And I'm using the hearts along the top here to ensure that I get a nice straight line. And I'm going to wrap the rest of the tape right around that edge. On top of that, I'm going to take some of this pink diagonal tape just to bring in some tone on tone. Again, let's use those hearts. We'll use these hearts down here to ensure that we have a nice straight line. So use the paper to make sure that your items are placed on there in a nice way. So we're just kind of building some layers here. Let's go back up to the top. We're going to do some layering with some crepe paper, Craft Market pattern paper. And I have 3 sheets right here. And we'll start with this pink sheet. Now you'll notice on the pink sheet there is a piece of masking tape right on the actual pattern paper. So I want to ensure that that shows. So whenever I'm using a pattern paper, I want to make sure that the more interesting part of the element shows up, and I don't want to cover it. So think about if there's something on your paper that would look good showing, and then just twist your paper. The only thing you have to be wary of is just make sure there isn't any writing on the paper that would then be upside down. 2 more additional sheets. I really loved this burlap striped, it's a diagonal stripe, and then this busier word paper. Now when you're using a busier paper, you need to think about the photo you're going to use on top of it. I suggest using more of a portrait photo with less going on, because then the eye has a place to rest. If you put a busy photo on top of a busy sheet of paper, then it's going to be harder for the eye to see it. Before we place this down, I'm going to take some additional embellishments from this Craft Market collection, and it was from my latest haul from scrapbook.com. And I have 2 tags. One says sold, and one is a smaller one, and you have seen me use tags a lot. It's just something that I like to do. And we will place the paper down just a little bit further in, just to make sure I get the placement right where I want it. So this particular sheet of paper does not have adhesive on the back. I'm just holding it in place so I can get a feel for placement. And then, because I just happen to have these on my desk, I have some pins, and we'll go ahead and add a few of them. I have some pink safety pins that I think would be good, or let's add some pink, and I can even add gold. I try to keep my embellishments in color coordinated or style coordinated, meaning I try and keep similar items together. And so I have all different kinds of safety pins in here. These are some old pins from Little Davis Designs that I've had forever and ever. They're not in business anymore. but it's just kind of a different element. You could do twine, you could do whatever you want, but since it's a craft market page, I thought that would be fun. Now at this point, we can place this pattern paper onto the page. And again, I'm trying to make sure that both sides have about the same thickness, and I am simply eyeballing it. Before we place that all the way down, I'm going to add a bingo card. Again, this is another embellishment from this collection. Just a nice craft bingo card, and I just want to make sure that it slightly overlaps on this side and that you can read the entire word bingo. And then once I get the placement where I want it, I can put it on the page. Now let's go and talk about, again, the photo we want to use. Now again, I talked about using a portrait. This particular portrait, I sat in front of a black sheet, yes, literally a black blanket, and I asked my little son to take my picture. And so the photo is a lot of just a couple of tones. There's black, there's white, and then there's my hair tone. So that doesn't detract from the rest of that busy paper. I'm going to add another one of these craft doilies, and I did get these from Michael's craft store. I know lots of companies, SRM, Doodleback Designs, are doing color doilies, and they're a great staple, so consider adding a few of them to your scrapbooking stash. Now you'll note that the photo is longer than the 6x6 sheet of pattern paper, and that works well because we're going to do some layering to marry the top of the layout to the bottom of the layout. Again, some more pieces from the ephemera pack from the Craft Market collection. And I'm layering some tickets. You could tear the tickets if you wanted, if you like that look a little bit better. But I'm just layering them. And by doing this layering, now all of these elements work together. On top of that, again, one more of the embellishments. I'm going to use an extra sheet of craft cardstock to add some adhesive so I don't get it on my page. We'll run it across the bottom here. And then I have a couple little bingo pieces, still from the ephemera pack. These ephemera packs that they make these days just have so much in them. You kind of have an endless supply of embellishments. We'll add a pink one. Now I wanted to add a second photo, and I'm going to do that by using this beautiful gold chipboard frame. Now this is from another crepe paper collection, and I mentioned in my scrapbooking haul video that the thing I like about crepe paper is their things can easily mix and match. So I've taken a smaller photo and I am going to turn this particular frame on its side. Now that means that the words are going to run vertically, and that's okay. They are in French, and they're more of an idea rather than something that needs to be read correctly. So it's okay if you turn them on their side. And we'll just go ahead and add a little bit of adhesive to the frame so that our photo sticks to it. And you can see that I've cut off the top of this photo. Originally I had a white border all the way around it, but once I placed it in the frame, as I was preparing to shoot the video, I realized it was too tall. So there you can see it fits perfectly. At this point, you can either use glue dots or you can just use a strong adhesive. We'll go ahead and add a few glue dots just to hold this chipboard piece in place. Sometimes when you have a heavier embellishment, I do recommend using something like glue dots. And then we're going to overlap the embellishments. So we're going to overlap the photo here as well as the bingo card here. Some additional layering. We will take this gold foil embellishment. Again, we'll use this extra sheet of craft cardstock to add some adhesive. And because it's thin, we are going to bend it slightly. So we're going to manipulate it just a little bit, and then we'll stick it down. You'll notice that I'm using a lot of pink and gold just to kind of dress up the page. And then to the top of the frame, I'm going to take this beautiful freckled fawn embellishment that says hello, and I'm going to add glue dots in some key places. So for instance, the curve of the E is a great place to hide a glue dot, but do be careful as these embellishments can tear. So they're thin, so you just want to get enough to hold it in place. And then we'll overlap that frame. Now here on the left side, I want to bring in some more gold. So I'm going to take some gold embellishments and some glue dots to hold them in place. These are from another crepe paper collection, just mixing and matching things that I've purchased over time. We want to overlap the first one on the left side of the page. You can see how it's come over here on the left. And then I usually try and create a little cluster of these gold embellishments. So we're starting to create this kind of visual triangle here. Now for the title, we're going to use these fun crepe paper stickers. And I'm going to combine them by using different patterns and different sizes to create the title. We're going to create the title down here at the bottom. So to do this, you can use the tape to create the look you are going for by simply using the tape as the line to start the title. So I'm going to go ahead and finish creating the title, and then I'll show you what it looks like. So here's a look at the title. You'll see that I used different sizes and as well as different patterns. And then here at the bottom, I added Better to See You With, and I did that with these Craft Market letter stickers. We're going to use a few more of the stickers here at the top. I'm going to cut one down just a little bit. And I'll overlap a few of them here on our photo just to bring in some more color. Just overlap those two a little bit right there. So here you have a layout that uses some of my recent purchases from scrapbook.com. Be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel so you don't miss out on any of these videos. Have you joined the Making It Meaningful movement yet? Be sure to subscribe to my newsletter at jengallacher.com for information on my latest classes, coupons for my ebooks and printables, as well as upcoming information.